and it's about doing it the hard way. Welcome to the Clipper Podcast, and thank you for listening. Thank you for listening, guys. And I'm Kiko, joined today by Willie, Vic, Brian, guys who know about do it in the hard way and all the other things. Discuss FEU's loss, our loss to FEU, 1-point loss to FEU, breaking that down, what are the implications of that loss, and also previewing the upcoming Adamson game. Just really tight Final Four implications. Say hi, everyone. Willie, hello. How are you? I saw you after the instant reaction, the Quiver Quickie, and you couldn't speak. I hope you found your voice now. I helped you to gather your thoughts and everything.
Ito, may masasabi na ako. Itong Final Four race. Nakakain na. Nakain tayo kanina eh.
Nakapag-2 ka ba, Willie? Nakapag-2 ka, kaya ano ka na ngayon?
Hindi nakapag-2 nga eh.
Oy, 3 bats? 3 puwet? Joke lang.
Trip ako. Pwede na. Ito naman sasabi sa Final Four race na to eh. Ano yun? Sa sobrang tight, alam niyo naman ako, mahilig ako sa tight. Pero ayoko naman ganitong sobrang tight. Ay, so.
Well, really, no choice but to unclench. With those what situation we put ourselves in. Now, Brian, how are you? Did you enjoy the game earlier?
Hindi nga eh. Ang pangit kung saan ako nanood. Huwag nyo na alam kung saan ako nanood. Mahangin
sabihin mo, saan ka nanood? Sabihin mo.
Sa barangka.
Nanood ka ba sa Hill?
Sa barangka. Sabi nun sa Google Weather kayo.
Sa Stando na Hill ka nanood eh. Sa Stando na Hill.
Sa lugar na hindi na kailangan ng aircon. For sure.
Dapat kasi smart yung ginagamit mo doon. Smart para maganda signal. Pag globe, wala. Pangit signal ng globe doon.
Alright. And Vic. Hello, Vic. How are you doing today?
International break. Kaya NFL tayo ngayong gabi. NFL tayo. Okay. Si Anton Griezmann in-interview.
Alright. So we have our own rally for transparency today as we break down the game versus FEU, that 1-point heartbreaking loss to, and we'll talk about the implications later, but first let's focus on the game, what happened here. Starting off that game, we came off a loss for NU, came off a winning streak before that. Then we go in this 2-week break after losing to NU, right? The Storm having the game against, I think it postponed. Do you think that 2-week break had an effect on the team earlier? Did it do more harm than good? What do you think?
Yeah, it did more harm, apparently. Ang pangit din ng simula ng game eh. As in, I think it just so happened that FU didn't punish us in the first quarter. They did in the second though. We couldn't get a lot. I think si Earl lang ata yung hot hand natin. And without his points, even he had 11 in the first. So isipin mo na lang, without that, that's just 8. And then we would have been outscored by FU by 8. Kasi they produced 16. But of course, needless to see, butterfly effect. We wouldn't know what would have happened kung di ma-score si Earl 11. Baka napunta rin yun sa iba. Still, I think yung execution it looked like, yes, sige, we were finding Earl at good moments. Pero it showed in the second, I guess. And that's where, and dun lahat hindi lang siya offense, pati defense, as Vic would touch on later. He has something to say about it. But yeah, overall, the break, as the comments said nga dun sa postponed episode natin, diba? Parang, historically, Lasal hasn't done well. Except 2013 lang ata yung magandang break natin. But that was long enough for that.
Ayaw natin nag-break. Kasi tuloy-tuloy lang. Something I think we're known for.
Hopefully we see that this week.
Well, this week we are playing 3 games in this week. All 3 crucial games now. 2 left. So, how about you, Willie? Coming from the 2-week break, we actually started off well, but we struggled in the second quarter. What do you think changed during that sequence? During the second quarter, FEU come back in that game?
Well, I guess yun na yung doon na lumalabas yung mga lapses din natin on defense. And I'll leave the specifics to Vic. Pero also, ano yun, siguro to give context din for everyone else, no, for our viewers. We also came into the game na I actually just found out when I arrived in the game na we were playing with three less players. So of course, si Boris was serving his 1-game suspension. And then si LeBron James Daep also wasn't included. And then eventually we found out na he was sick. He was out sick with an illness. And then for some reason si Gian wasn't also included in the game. So medyo yung rotation. I think part din nun was the rotation. Medyo nakakahilo yung changes that si Coach Topex was utilizing in the second. Pero I think diyan na nga rin talaga medyo nag-ramp up na rin yung offense ng FEU, and then also lumalabas yung mga lapses natin on the other end on defense for us.
Yeah, do you think possible na iwan lang si Gian, hindi nakita? With being 5'4", baka nandun lang siya sa
kung naiwan, magte-text naman yun. Pare, kahit maiwan yun, naabot siya, linggo, walang traffic.
Grab na lang siya.
Okay, diba nung second quarter?
Pwede siya mag-move, pwede siya mag-angkas.
Biglang si Bright, biglang gumawa nung second quarter. Di kaya parang nakuha niya yung extra step kasi bigla nang naapakan pala niya si Gian. Somewhere.
Yan lang yung nasabi ni Willie sa Quickie pala, which viewers can watch on YouTube.
So, how about you, Vic? Do you think that played a factor? Of course, we're down Mason, we're down Kian, we knew we're down Boris. Now we lost LeBron to sickness. We lost Gian to Bright Shoe. What do you think that caused some instability into the second quarter where it always really had to find our rotations and everything?
Tingin ko hindi. Kasi kung may effect yan, malamang hindi tayo makascore ng 83. Yun yung unang-unang dyan eh. Kasi hindi pwedeng out of rhythm ka tapos bad game ka lang on defense tapos okay ka. Kasi to be honest with you, scoring 83 points should be enough for you to win on a FIBA game na 10-minute quarters. If you score 83, dapat panalo ka dyan. Parang kicks eh. Yung ihahalin tulad ko lang to kay Bengals eh. Score sila 38, score sila 42. That should be enough for you to win a football game. Talo ka pa rin. That's the same case to us kanina. Scoring 83, more than enough na yun to win a game. Kaya yun, parang kung may effect yung 2-week break, dapat pati scoring natin affected kanina. Where in fact, hindi siya affected kasi naka-score pa rin tayo ng 83 and to be honest, ang ganda ng spread ng puntos kanina. If you will look at the box scores, maganda yung spread ng puntos kanina. So, yun. To answer your question straightforward, I don't think it has an effect kasi nakakagawa ka nga ng, we have that rhythm offensively. Naka-score tayong 83 eh. I don't see it as a...
But do you think it affected us defensively losing Boris, losing these guys na nag-shift? Because remember, one of the things that did well for us during that winning streak, which seems ages ago now, was we were playing more zone to compensate for lack of size. Diba? Now, we had to go to man-to-man, which is a weird shift in strategy during this game, and that's something FFU punished us for earlier. Since the second quarter run.
Ang ko dito, two things on defense. First, yun nga, binanggit ko na rin sa Quickie kanina. Sana sumugalon zone because, again, pag nag-breakdown, ang napapansin ko sa atin, pag nagbe-breakdown, defensively, it seems like we're having, para maganda yung term, challenge. Yeah. We are challenged on rotating, leaving opponents with open threes. Actually, after today's games, parang tayo yung pangalawang pinakapangit dumepensa sa perimeter, especially sa threes. We're giving apart from we're giving a red carpet sa paint points, we're also worst on giving threes. So, yun yung ano doon. So, it's either we have a problem pag nagka-breakdown, hindi alam, well, hindi alam, baka nalilito lang sa rotation, sino yung kukunin, sino yung kailangan i-pick up. That's why we leave open threes dahil may breakdown sa defense. And another thing, ang binabanggit ko to paulit-ulit sa GC para akong sirang plaka. Ano to rule to ni Coach Cholo Kung hindi mo madedepensahan, kunyari if you're a big or if you're a wing, for example, and then there's someone, yung bantay mo, makakatanggap ng bola mid-post area or paint area. And then, pag shimmy-shimmy or score ng napakadali sa'yo, pag alam mong hindi mo kaya depensahan, huwag mo patanggapin ng bola. Hindi ko alam. I-push mo palabas or wag mong hayaan na pwestuhan ka doon ng kalaban mo to get that ball and score over you. Kasi parang kanina, I think for example, yung matchups ni Konate, parang naka 6 points din siya na nakakatanggap lang siya sa post tapos one-on-one nakaka-score siya Parang 3 basket Tapos I think Mongkopa also had one kay JC kanina. Pinatanggap din natin on an area na medyo post area na medyo comfortable si Mongkopa and Mongkopa scored. So kung alam natin na hindi natin madedepensahan, anuhan natin. Kumbaga, it's either you pressure the passer or wag mo nang patanggapin doon. Side front ka. Let them, medyo pahirapan mo yung pasa ng passer para at least hindi clean catch yung makukuha ng kalaban na medyo medyo comfortable sila dumiskarte. Tas isa pa, may instance kanina si Brian kausap ko dito. Second quarter yata yun, Brian, yung inbound ni kay Mongkopa din yun Inbound play.
Yung knockout.
Nag-follow, nag-screen, nag-follow. Yun. Basket si Mongkopa, walang free lane Iwan, free lane So, alam mo yun, parang those details, I think aaralin naman yan for sure ng team, pero if we are going to give up, especially Adamson next game, sige, ano ko lang ng konti, alam ko may preview tayo. We'll face the number 2 defensive team in the league, Adamson. So, yun yung ano natin dyan. And then, yun nga, parang if yung defense natin is not polished, so hindi ko rin, actually, rant ko na to sa inyo kanina. If we are going to play...
It's okay. At ngayon.
if we're going to play defense like this, yun, hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam how we'll look like on our last 3 games. So, sana ako I think our offense looks fine at this point, but we really need to do better defensively. Kasi if otherwise, ayun, hindi ko alam paano
Brian,
nanalo sa next 3 games.
We thought we found our groove already during the winning streak, but now these defensive struggles are starting to come up again. Is this really how big of a concern for you? Seeing how we performed these past 2 games, seems we're a bit lost now defensively.
It is kasi we have to remember the backbone of our success either this season or the previous seasons. We feel most confident when nahihirapan yung opponents makascore sa atin. It's not to say na defensive team tayo na yun lang yung identity. But if the opponent is not playing with confidence, that comes from them not getting their usual looks, being made to work for baskets. Kanina, lalo no second quarter and a stretch of that fourth quarter where we lost the game ultimately. I didn't see FEU work too hard for their looks. Yun nga, marami na-generate na open looks dahil nga may mga lapses sa defense or hindi na address na concerns such as electing for them to shoot kahit alam natin na may capability sila. And it's not just the long range 3-point shots. Mga mid-range nga and yung mga tira ni Joric, especially when ito yung umupo si Konate nung third kasi nga 4 fouls na siya. It's where the likes of
crucial
Joric
point yan.
and si John Ray Pasol and si Neil Owens, I remember he has that contribution too. Si Felipe, when he gets looks from the three, parang alam natin na mas likely na tumira siya sa labas kesa yung, alam mo yun, gusto sana natin ibaba yung bola, but that's on the players in the team now. So I think, yun, Adamson, we have to treat this game as as the immediate concern. Forget UP, forget the rescheduled game.
Yeah.
Kasi Adamson talaga, they play almost identical to this FEU team eh. Siguro iba lang yung lasa. Kasi I think, syempre, iba rin yung strengths ng Adamson eh. It's not the same as it. But the togetherness of the units, you can see that and baka mag-struggle ulit tayo if we don't fix right.
Yeah, and we'll break that down further during that Adamson preview later on the episode. Crucial point there you mentioned, Brian, was that sequence is when Konate, who was really causing us problems in the second quarter, had got his fourth foul, right, in the second half. It was a chance for us to really put on the pedal against this Adamson team. Then suddenly that's what when the other guys, let's Lapasa all started stepping up for them and putting in points. And at the end of it, even though we were able to catch up from the 10-point deficit, it was still a close game at that point, even if you had the lead going into the fourth quarter. Willie, did you feel that was a crucial point in this game? Was it a missed opportunity for us to stamp on, put the lead, put some cushion during that period of the second half?
Ako, I guess it's also one of yung misgivings ko, no? Yung sa Lost 6, pinag-usapan din natin ito earlier na wala na nga si Konate, tapos parang pinipilit pa rin na they're not taking it inside the paint as much. Puro tira lang, puro jumpers na lang din yung tinitira. Pinipili pa rin sa tres or sa mid-range when, ayun na nga that's the opportunity you have really to punish them inside eh. Pero parang matagal din yung stretch na yun na si Mike wasn't on the floor.
Nandun na yung foul too.
Of course, he had his fouls, pero kahit na di rin natin na masyado naramdaman yung other bigs natin to really press yung authority nila down in the paint. And ayun, sakto rin talaga na that was when si FEU, sina Joric, sina John Ray started to heat up na rin na kahit nung we admittedly we made them too comfortable to really gain confidence. Lalo yung mga tira na yung mga down last few seconds on the shot clock, tapos titirahin ka ng sobrang galing na in-your-face jumper.
Yung mga bato ni Gasol, no? Yung parang unorthodox na...
yung isa pa parang nag-skyhook pa nga siya na ewan. Putang ina, pumasok.
Ganda nun, gandang
parang pinapasa niya sa ring eh. Instead na tira. Parang ganun. Feed
that was a cause of concern for me. That was a cause of concern for me because we were struggling. I didn't like our shot selection in some parts of the game. Tapos hirap tayo maka-score at certain points. Tapos si FEU binabato towards the shot clock pumapasok. So I go, is this game gonna be one of those games that does not go for us? Yeah.
Bigla pumapasok.
Ang talaga, I think, Brian sum it up. Because of our defense, ang dali ng looks, parang ang dali ng offensive looks kay FEU kanina. As compared to diba? Parang yun yung kanina.
Yung
that's why even if we were able kasi nung si Konate wala, nag-zone si FEU, which is naman expected. Yung iba we settled for jump shots, but then later on naman we pound it in inside the paint naman eh. So sa akin okay lang yun. I think the problem again is nakaka-shoot nga tayo pero pagdating naman sa kabilang dulo, we can't make stops. So yun yung problem din on that stretch na dapat sana na maximize natin. Yes, we were able to maximize sa pag-offense natin, but on defense natin, we weren't able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I'm afraid, Vic, when we look back and do a post-mortem or dissect the season, hopefully later rather than sooner pa, we doesn't come sooner, but we do that post-mortem of the season. it's in the first round and it's come back second round. We've always struggled to make our opponents uncomfortable during their offensive sets. And that's something that FEU punished us for today, something hopefully that we can solve, but we will need to solve as we close out this second round. Brian, now looking at those last 3 minutes, it was a close game, back and forth. And I remember this once, and we can all focus now on the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We had so many opportunities to close out that game. There was this one sequence with a minute ago where we had 3 offensive rebounds in sequence and couldn't make a basket to give us a 3-point lead, and FEU takes lead after that. I guess on both ends of the floor, we talk about our offensive struggles, our defensive struggles. That 2-3 minutes last in the fourth quarter, see a microcosm of our struggles of the entire game. Now, talk us about a bit how you saw those last 2-3 minutes for LaSalle.
Yeah, so we were getting looks, not clean looks, but we had control of the possession. And nakukuha yung offensive rebounds. If I'm not mistaken, it was Mike Phillips who really earned the ball for us, those extra possessions. Yeah. But the problem was, he couldn't make most of the time to give it back to Jacob or to have it set outside. And that will lead to rushed shots, which I think that's a question mark again. Better execution would have really helped. And what really broke our backs was, and I'm not gonna blame Mike entirely on this, but it was his decision to stay up, leaving. Although Pablo could have still done something about that Mongkopa attempt, but it kind of summed up, diba, yung persistence mo na instead of having that half-court defense set, you give FEU an opportunity, especially when they were doing that earlier in the game, that they were able to find those long-range passes for easier looks. You would have wanted, mas okay na siguro sa akin mo ulit yung Macbello 2.0 na mahirap yung shot kesa yung tira ni Mongkopa. Although hindi man madali tira ni Mongkopa, but still, it was close range. He would like that opportunity compared sa tres, diba? So, sa akin parang, yun yung pinakamasakit kasi, buti sana kung una nangyari yun. Parang okay, may element of surprise. But it was thematic at the segment of the game. So, parang sabi ko, of course, 2020 is hindsight, diba? Hindsight is 2020 na tipong, we can say this now, kasi nangyari na yung result. But even then, while it was happening, sabi ko, I hope this press sort of thing doesn't hurt us. And it kind of did. But still, despite that, we had 26 seconds to make something out of that possession. And this is where I guess Jacob took it upon himself. And to be fair to Jacob, alam ko may pwede sabihin dito si Willie, si Vic, I don't know. To be fair to him, may moments before that hero ball moment or so, whatever people want to call it. He was dishing the ball, or at least trying to have JC or si Pablo. That's why Pablo had that, yung pump fake na sa labas and then drove it for a layup on Konate na ayaw na ma-fall out.
Yun yung panlamang yun yung panlamang natin ngayon eh.
Exactly. So there were moments naman na Jacob was trying to facilitate. I guess the problem was FEU really made it tough for him in that sequence. And yun din, parang if you look at the replay, I don't know how many of our fellow LaSalle fans would watch the replay, or at least yung mga highlights. He looked at the bench, and then parang hindi siya nakaset din ng maayos eh. So I don't know if that played a factor, and then he had that spin, and then he was going for the step, and Mongkopa just happened to read this. Tama na, kasi Mongkopa naman natin yung nag-defense sa kanya. He was able to read what he was going to do, and the best challenge to commit is make yourself bigger without making contact, and that's exactly what he did. And even then, bumalik na yung bola, and all of that, bumalik pa kay Jacob yung bola, nahanap na si JC. JC had that good shot, I agree. It looked good, kasi hindi pumasok. That's how life is. But to FU, they would have wanted that, kasi if, let's say, Makalalag was located earlier, maybe he could have had an easy putback or yung close range basket. So, that's really...
And you had to look at, we had other opportunities before that to really give some caution, and it didn't have to come to that point in the game. And yeah, you're right, bro. In the defensive end, with Mongkopa's basket over Pablo, you rarely see transition baskets in those kinds of situations that late in the game. So again, it's really a bad gamble in hindsight on our point. Of course, that's 2020. How about you, Willie? What's your assessment of that the Celtics performance those last 2 minutes in the clutch? Especially coming from the point where it said we know Jacob is our go-to guy. We want the ball in his hands in this situation. So help either create, score, or facilitate. What is your assessment? He had a struggle there with some missed shots. He even had a crucial traveling turnover as he crossed the half-court line. What did you make of his assessment during the game earlier?
Ako, di ba, ano yun, may inside joke na nga tayo na pag na-foul si Mike, ano yun, wag daw bigyan ng foul shot, 2 points na lang kaagad. O kaya inbound. Dapat kanina, pagkakuha ng offensive rebound, inbound na lang din ulit. Okay, 2 points pa na. Pero, kidding aside, yun lang din talaga, yung sayang din yung mga yung mga offensive rebounds din yun na we couldn't convert on. I think those were three straight. And then, I guess, ano yun din, I couldn't, well, siguro 50-50 ano yun, I could lay it on si Jacob na I felt he was doing too much, a little bit too much, masyado niya inaako nga yung really to try and win the game for us, where I guess na the more he tried to do, ayan na lumalabas na yung that was where he made those crucial mistakes. Pero I guess it's also na he felt, although parang naisip ko naman there wasn't any need pa naman to really do that kasi as what Vic said and what we saw in terms of contributions from the rest of the team, very well spread out yung offense natin So para siguro lang yun nga, it's part of the flow of the game, yung late game decision making, the choices that we made, that the team made, yun yung medyo yun nga, looking back, yun yung what I felt na we could have performed better. Ano pa ba? That last shot by JC was an open look. I can see from several of the comments saying na why take a 3 when you could have gotten closer, which ako naman I felt na at the time naman, with the time remaining, that was the best possible shot. Open na siya nun And kung yun nga, I think we had a few seconds pa to spare nung nakuha yung for a tip in, pero yun nga as with yung earlier sequences we couldn't convert. So breaks of the game lang din naman, and also some very bad decision making, and of course yung yung defense natin, yung last defensive sequence natin na yun.
Yeah. After that Mong Copa basket, Vic, it's 26 seconds to go. Did you agree that decision not to take a timeout in that situation and let the offense focus? It was 26 seconds, 24 seconds. I'm not sure they're going for the last shot there, or at least keeping FEU with no opportunity to score and take the lead to go ahead basket. But did you agree that position to take the ball out, full court, take the full shot clock, and let the team figure out at that point?
Okay. If I'm the coach, tawag ako timeout. Set ako ng structured play for the last shot. If I'm the head coach, tatawag ako ng timeout doon. Kasi crucial yun. I need a basket at that point. So, tawag ako timeout. Ko ng set play. And then, let's see what we can make something out of it.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the thinking was there, if we didn't want to.
Pero tama, meron pa tayong timeout nun, di ba? Kasi
I think we had a timeout. Yeah.
Kasi ang thinking ko nun,
alam ko.
Kasi parang wala na sa isip ko na, ay shit, wala na tayong timeout. yun yung pumasok nun sa isip ko Yun yung rin sa isip ko nung kung may timeout pa or wala na.
It's really on Coach Topex. He put his trust in the team Jacob at that point. Maybe he wanted a semi-last shot, but we took an early shot during that point, so I guess it wasn't the play. So I'm not sure what the plan was there. That I guess he tried to latch on Jacob's experience at that point. How about you, Brad? What did you make of this coaching display from Topex now? I'm sure he's feeling lots of pressure with us near out of the Final Four race. do you think there's things he needs to make more adjustments this late in the second round? Because ideally, peaking na tayo, di ba? At this point, and
Yeah.
we're back. It's a bit of a back to the drawing board after this loss.
Well, I guess the results would point to that. I couldn't really say anything more apart from that because I haven't coached any game to be highly critical. But I guess yun nga, it's not just the results. I guess it's also the calls that come with the results. One way or another, it can just be a calculated risk that doesn't really pay off too much. Hindi lang to yun eh. Marami pang calculated risk that I've seen throughout the season. And I guess some of them pay off, some of them don't, but maybe the percentage rate is like our free throw shooting. It's below 50%. So, ayun, I guess it's more on making calls kasi at the end of the day, yun. I just hope he's well on top of it, na tipong he's comfortable with the calls he's making kasi regardless, diba? Regardless of how the season finishes, he will have to live and die with the calls he made in his tenure there. So, I mean, if sa kanya yung decision na yun, he will take ownership of that. Pero and he has to improve. Ang problema lang kasi with UAAP, if you do one thing here and you do another thing somewhere, parehong may possibility na mag-fail siya on different occasions. So I guess that's the difficulty in sports. Like, hindi siya foolproof. Like, kunwari, mag-zone ka ngayon, tapos hindi ka mag-zone sa isang game. They can both yield to losing results, or pwedeng you can do the same thing and then mag-split ka, but you don't know which one works better. I mean, but at the same time, yun nga, the industry he is in, it's anchored by results, and yeah, 3 games, I guess he would have to, paano ba, medyo counter, nasa siya difficult moment na, of course, the calls now would have to be bolder pa than what he's been doing. And yeah, I guess he just has to embrace the pressure because it's not just him. Fortunately for him, it's not just him under the Final Four pressure and dominance. Coach Tabs, Coach Pido, Coach Nash, and you can even count Coach Sean Chambers in the mix. It's really just exciting for the neutrals, but maybe less so for us.
Yeah, so I think that's a good time now, right, to go to those Final Four scenarios where this loss places us. But before we go there, I remember this. I just want to discuss with you guys. There's this confusing part during the challenge during that second half. I don't remember Mike made the basket. It was an end one, and it was deemed a successful challenge.
Second quarter. Second quarter.
Sorry, second quarter, not second half. Second quarter. What was the challenge? What was the challenge there?
Hindi, ano na yun? Second half na yun, bro.
So second half.
So second half.
Yeah.
Third quarter. Kung yun
early
third
third
quarter
during our 7-0 run. Ito, kasi hindi pumasok
free throw. So Mike win and one floater. And I'm not sure what the call on the floor was, but they put There was what was the call at that point? What was the challenge? Did you guys see, or did you guys?
I think si Vic yung naka-capture nung tamang.
Ang challenge was pag layup ni Mike, pasok, pagbaba ng bola, na tapik ni Konate and the ball hit Mike's face. So Mike was saying na intentional na, well, sa akin that's from how I understand it, pag parang sinasabi ni Mike na binato siya ni Mo ng bola sa mukha. Parang yun yung yun yung pina-review natin sa mga referees kung may ganung motion nga ba talaga, which is, sa akin, from the way I saw it sa replay sa screen sa Araneta, parang ako when I looked at it, parang wala. I wouldn't if I'm the referee, I wouldn't call anything malicious on it. Parang it just so happened nandun si Mo, tumama yung bola sa kamay and the ball hit Mike's face. So parang sa akin walang nothing malicious on that one. And I think
Yeah, I
the
think
challenge could have been saved for another call siguro.
a more crucial.
Oo.
Yeah, go Willie. Go ahead. Yeah.
Ayun nga parang sayang nga din na yun nga yung call sana nagamit. Ano yun for a better challenge later kung meron.
Yeah, and I and I guess that I don't know what maybe Mike was adamant about it. Maybe we were trying to put some put more momentum because we were making it around that point, like Brian said. I guess what I want maybe the UAB can look at it's really more clarity. There's these kinds of calls. There was no explanation. I'm sure in venue there was no explanation of what was being challenged.
Wala.
So on the
Wala
broadcast
din.
there was
Wala
no,
din.
no
Walang
there was no
sinabi.
nothing there.
Wala.
Yeah, so maybe that's something you has to keep your audience both in venue and at the
And
on the
on the
broadcast side
broadcast.
informed. Yep,
Yep.
informed. Because even the commentators weren't sure. So I think that those things have to be communicated. It makes the viewing experience
na
better. So
mas
yeah,
maayos.
Yeah.
more
Kung
clarity. Because we were thinking, bakit hindi ba counted yung N1 at that point? We thought that was the call on the floor. They're just saying it wasn't a continuation, but apparently it was something else, a second motion. Yeah.
Sabi nga nila, kaya baliktad yung
Brian,
camera.
yeah,
Kailangan
go ahead.
din sana ma-announce yung kung nababaliktad yung camera for promos or nagpapakita sila ng mga gaya na to, pwede rin siguro na-explain. I mean, that's just a nugget, diba? A small thing. Details. If kaya nga i-mic up yung ref making those calls, diba? Why not? Kasi I think sa NBA, ginagawa nila rin, diba? Ina-announce yung calls at least. So,
Yeah.
So, kahit nga sa Premier League, meron ng di ba?
Ref cam.
It's a simulation. No penalty. Di ba? Ganun na sila.
yellow card to yellow card to
Dati sa NFL mo lang nakikita yan, di ba?
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Now let's look towards those scenarios we're talking about. What we were before this game, we were still twice to beat was still in our hands. Now with that loss against FEU, we're in the pack chasing to secure the third and fourth spot. We can still secure this twice to beat. We have to rely on us winning all of our games and UP beating and Ateneo beating UP, which I don't know if we can ask ourselves to do that. Is it worth the twice to beat? Is it worth the twice to beat? Ateneo beats UP. That's a different conversation, but I guess I'll start with you, Willie. Willie, how do you feel about our chances? Of course, this season is not going to plan. We were hoping to have this twice to beat really there, or at least secured at this point. But of course, like we said, we're doing things the hard way. Looking at the scenarios, we're now competing against Ateneo, UST, you say Adamson, FEU still in there somehow. How do you see this? How confident are our chances? Looking at our remaining schedule, remaining games of the current scenario that we have.
Well, right now nga, looking at the current team standings, no, it's really, if the Final Four started, wala na talaga tayo sa twice to beat. But we still, I still believe we still have a chance. The team is still in control of its fate. Yun nga, pero we really need to make sure that the team secures wins in all our remaining games. At least, yun na talaga, that's what we can control. We can't control how other teams perform. So, I just hope the team just focuses on playing to win, no? Playing to win both offensively and defensively against our remaining assignments, which are not easy games. All our remaining games now are really Final Four contenders nga. And ayun na talaga, it's really the team has to want to win it. And dito na talaga papasok yung how much do they want it.
Yeah. And I guess, Vic, looking at the word there is parity. That's a buzzword where 5-6 losses this year gets you into the Final Four, right? Where and that shows how the logjam is for the third and fourth slots. How confident do you have our chances of seeing how we're playing? We have a tough schedule going up. We'll talk about Adamson in the next segment. But that's it's a rough road ahead for us. Nothing is set in stone. We could go to number 3, go to number 2. We could even drop out entirely. How do you see LaSalle's chances playing out for this Final Four?
Again, depende kung anong depensa ilalaro natin. Yun lang. If ito yung effort natin defensively, I honestly don't know paano tayo papasok ng Final Four giving up these much points to our opponents. So again, it all boils down on how we play defense. Kasi I think our offense looks good. Ang kailangan lang talaga natin dumepensa and make stops. Yun yung ano natin. So, lahat ng three remaining, well actually even tong FAU must win na, but then itong last 3 games we have to put the clamp sa mga palaban natin. We have no choice. We have to play deep or otherwise it doesn't look good. Yun yung ano ko.
Yeah. Brian, we posted a question on our Instagram and our socials of where LaSalle fans see the team falling into this Final Four race. I'll just read some of the submissions. And thanks to everyone for submitting, and we really love hearing your views. So Brian, let's share some of them with us and we can discuss them.
Sure. Medyo unified pa yung optimism in the camp. Because many of them, like Elmer, then si Audrey, and si Carive, and si Crazy A, apat sila, they still see the 3rd seed as a possibility, which is good. I mean, not twice to beat, but given the situation now, there's optimism in their camp. Si Francis Pesigan, sabi niya 4th. And actually si Audrey, 3rd or 4th. So medyo surrendering na. I mean, given that what you said earlier, that it's practically out of our hands. It's practically begging the blue evil beat the maroon evil in that sense. We don't know how it will pan out, diba? And cannot really influence that as much as we would have wanted to.
There are no lesser evils, Brian. More evils lang in that scenario. No lesser evils.
The maroon, more evil maroon or the more evil blue. Yeah, sorry. Pardon my French. And then, merong magandang question si Nico Manalo. So, binalik niya yung question natin. So, parang ang tanong niya is, did we pick a little early? Which I guess we can answer for ourselves eventually. But before that, one of the questions, comments sa Quickie. Kasi 7 out of the 9 comments, or 6 out of the 9 comments have mentioned the free throws. 6 out of 9. Yeah, it's nice. But they mentioned free throws, which are not nice for us this season. And
the thing with free throws is, we talk about it every game. It's a regular segment. On this thing,
we should
have it sponsored. We have it sponsored. I think we're at the point where I don't know how to solve it. We've seen it for a number of years. I think it's something that we have to learn to live with and learn how to win despite of. I think we're at that point. We're not gonna magically solve our free throws in the last 3 games in Final Four. Vic, what are your thoughts on that?
Sa akin kanina, if we made stops, kahit ang dami nating minintis na free throw, mananalo tayo ng magandang margin kanina. If we played defense, made stops, probably converted more transition easy baskets, hindi natin pag-uusapan yung mga minintis na free throws.
By the way pala, kasi I mentioned the free throws, pero may isang comment dito na medyo interesting. It comes from Jan Goon 55. And he said, and I quote, so this is not for me, LaSalle is doomed this season 88. Free throws and alam na ng team's diskarte. Lamangan mo lang LaSalle ng ilang points, di na makakahabol. Tapos foul the usual suspects for sure win. So maybe you want to digest that statement. It's an interesting comment to me kasi when I read that, parang sabi ko, yeah, that's quite an recipe used to us by some of the teams. Parang, alam mo yun, magkaroon silang daylight sa atin. Mahirapan na tayo to claw it back. Nagagawa natin, pero parang challenge. Pero pag tayo yung lalamang ng 6, 8, 10, parang nahabol siya sa atin. So parang I guess may ganong element. Kailangan natin ng lead na I think if had we led maybe 12 points or more this season, parang never tayo natalo if I'm not mistaken.
Yung tipo kailangan early padding tayo ng score.
I think
diba,
if we're playing defense dun sa 3 game winning streak, well, not against
UP.
Yung UP, UST, and
UE.
Yung UP UST na lang, sorry, hindi ko iaanin sa UE. Against UP UST, ay sige, ano na lang, siguro pinakamaganda UST. If we're playing proper defense, pagka nakalamang tayo, hindi naman tayo nakahabol. Same thing with same thing with the UE second round. If we're playing proper defense, kahit anong habol lang gawin nila, we can fend them off easily. I mean, we have seen it. Tingin ko kailangan lang ulit ma-realize natin na ano bang defensive identity do we want to have. I mean, alam natin kulang sa tao, but I mean, we were able to do it. So, kumbaga, kailangan mo lang hanapin ulit yung identity na yan and bring it back. Kasi, kaya gawin eh. So, it's up to us to really be consistent siguro and panindigan kung ano yung mga kailangan gawin.
We've faced different scenarios in lots of different games this season. We've had that big comeback, I think, that fell short. We've lost against UST. We've had close games. I think it's not in this game state, talo na Lasal. If you do this, if na naman Lasal, talo na. I think it might be a bit too similar that. I think Vic's right. It comes back to how do we execute our game plan in certain situations of the game. I think that's the biggest question more than just saying do this against Lasal. I think it comes back to how we execute. Going back to those fundamentals. And I think that's what's crucial. That will determine where we end up this season. And Brian, just to go back to Mr. Manalo's question, if that was our peak during that winning streak, I don't think we're gonna go far this season because those games weren't.
Well, half of them are from UE.
Have them from UE too. Have it for UE too. So we'll have to find a new gear to go to if we want to make something of our season this year. Vic, final thoughts before we go to our Adamson preview.
Yun nga, it's on hindi sa pagyayabang. It's on our control really. Yun nga, uulitin ko ulit. Ano yung ipapakita natin defensively? It's nasa control natin siya eh. Kasi we can score if we want to score. Pero ang tanong doon, do we want to play defense? So kumbaga, bottom line, it's all on us. It's really not what the other team is doing on us. It's more of ano yung gagawin natin to address those yung mga nakikita nating poor defense sa team natin this season. Yun siya.
All right. Now looking toward the next game. So this is the first of 3 crucial games. Play Adamson, play UP, then play Ateneo to finish our season, that postponed game. Adamson, opening game of the season, close game, and they show that there are no pushovers, and it's true, they're in the Final Four fight. They're fighting for their lives on come Wednesday. What's interesting here is, guys, when the second round schedule came out, I had this Adamson game circled more than the NU game, more than the UP, more than this is the game I'm worried about. Seeing how Adamson has played us in the first round, seeing where we are, seeing how good they are defensively, how we might struggle against them. I said, this is the game I'm really, really worried about. And that was before we lost to FEU and NU. And I have this really nervous feeling about this game. It'll be a terrible matchup for us. Hopefully, we can find that extra gear to go to both on both ends of the floor, especially defensively, like Vic and you guys have been pointing out. But how about you, Willie? What are your thoughts going this Adamson game? I'm a bit nervous about it. What are your thoughts? I'm very nervous about it.
Well, at least for one, I can say that we have one more man returning, no? We'll have Boris back for the Adamson game. So that should provide us one more additional person, no, for on both ends of the floor. We're not sure yet if the others how are they, if they will be present also. Pero I agree na this is a worrisome team to play against, this Adamson team, kasi yun nga, from the first game of the first round, medyo toe and toe tayo, and really that game was close. It was just thanks to Mason that we were able to pull through, no? And yun din yung concern ko na we're facing the number 2 defensive team in the league, and what worries me is it's not just us performing defensively, but what happens if kung ma-double whammy na naman tayo na na our offense is lost and we're also lost defensively. Yun na talaga yung pinaka worst case outcome na I don't want to see happening on Wednesday. So I agree na this team has to dig deep really into yung bag of tricks niya to really not just want it but also execute, no, on both ends of the floor to really get that win. Kasi must win na talaga lahat ng remaining games natin. Doble pa. double.
And it's must win for Adamson too. Loosen, they're out. They're done for the season. So that's
And
how about you, Vic? What's your prediction for this game?
Defense, again, hindi ako magsasawa. Again, points to consider dito sa aking notes. Adamson is sila yung pinakamababang scoring team sa liga natin. But the bulk of their points are coming from 3-point shots. So yan, di ba? So paano to ma-relate sa atin? It means they're a jump shooting team. They are just shooting 27% from deep, pero dinadaan nila sa volume yan. Yun yung nila doon. Yun yung that's how they do it. They do it by volume. I think ang crucial dito is again long rebounds, kailangan makuha natin siya. Kasi ang problem dito is that we can't allow Adamson na hindi nga dapat second chance points eh. Ang tawag ko na dito 3-point chance points kasi pagka nakuha yung offensive rebound, they look to shoot from deep eh. Hindi bagay second chance points sa kanila eh. Parang 3-point chance points na yan for Adamson eh. So we cannot hindi tayo pwedeng tulog defensively in case makakuha ng offensive rebound si Adamson kasi they're really, really good at pagpulot ng rebound. Ang galing nila humanap ng open shooter for that wide open three, which is a back breaker. Sobrang sakit niya na nagpakahirap ka sa depensa. You let your opponent get an offensive rebound, and worse, papashutin mo pa ng tres. So medyo masakit yan. That's something that we have to avoid. And siguro probably let them take contested pull-up twos. Mas maganda yung chance natin dyan. But then, very, very important, get those. Hindi tayo pwede ma-out-rebound. Andyan si Cedric Manzano, andyan si Ojarikre, they had Perez, ang dami nilang bigs again. So, total team effort dapat sa rebounding. And hopefully, we can try and generate baskets of transition. And, syempre, andun pa rin yung controlled pace. We cannot avoid na track meet style na ang daming turnovers din here and there.
Yeah. So Brian, go into Vic's point. How do you see this game playing out before we give you your prediction? Like Vic said, key is really stopping the three because that's where they make their money. Next, stopping those offensive rebounds. Those backbreaking offensive rebounds, give them more opportunity to score because they do volume, like Vic said.
Yeah.
Do you think? And what we say, our zone has been effective for us, but that's usually not the right formula against high volume shooting teams where we want to stop offensive rebounds. How do you think we should approach this game against Adamson? You should stick to the zone, or you think those I might have to go to man on this one?
Kailangan nila mag-organize ng rally sa San Marcelino para di makalis yung bus. Bakit ang mawa? Doon lang, sa may masagana Calao area, mas stuck yung bus ng Adamson doon. Default, okay. 20-0. Move on sa Saturday. De joke lang. That's me adding some light touch to it. Think it has to do with a lot of defensive reading. Siguro yan yung gagawing assignment ng team. Kasi no matter what, press, zone, man, depends on the timing. Minsan yung execution nagda-dependent dun sa reading. And this is what Vic was saying throughout how we were watching the game kanina. Parang may times na, okay, the right thing to do was press. But sometimes, you don't make the necessary steps to make that system work kasi it's either mali ka ng basa or you overcommitted allowing space open that breaks your own press to an extent. So I guess yun yung kailangan nila balik-balikan ng team, ng coaching staff. Kasi Adamson, they will come out with their most resolute defense. And even without the records, to past 2-3 seasons, laging mainit yung mata ng mga teams kapag Lasal and UP kalaban. And there's a good reason kasi parang Lasal and UP nag-set ng benchmark. So Adamson, knowing that their backs are against the wall, knowing that they must play the game of their lives to have that to make that Ateneo game in the weekend a sensible game to play, na hindi na lang sila spoiler to Ateneo. They would have to come out guns blazing. I expect them to really look for their shots early first quarter, reminiscent of how they played UST in the second round. Lumamang sila nun eh. Problema, pinahabol nila UST because of some fouling, some UST getting hot then as well in the outside. We can also say na pwede ganun eh. Tapos baka daanin tayo sa sabihin ni Coach Nash, sige, padalin natin to sa free throw. Tingnan natin kung papasok yung free throw nila. Because like what Vic said, ang daming bodies din tong Adamson eh. They have depth in a lot of areas na tipong they can afford maybe 1 or 2 people to just foul or disrupt our flow. And that's what worries me the most in our weekend roster.
Right. Vic, final thoughts?
Yun lang kasi na-touch mo kanina na pag perimeter-oriented team, hindi siya recommended mag-zone. Actually, yun yung ibang, I think yan yung, if it really depends how your opponents are getting their perimeter shots. Like, for us, I think ang problem natin is pag breakdowns, nahihirapan humabol sa open shooters. I think the best way there is to use a zone defense kasi mas madali mag-rotate. Kasi you are already covering an area of the floor. So kahit ang ano dyan is that ang side effect naman nun is that you can easily contest threes na naka-close out ka na agad. And walang breakdown defensively na nangyayari. So ano naman siya? So it's a matter of or kung magmaman to man ka talaga, you really have to ensure na talaga nakaka-rotate ka agad. Para at least ang term ko lagi sa inyo dito is kailangan may nakatapat lagi. Basta ano lang, for as long as merong tapat-tapat na defender, kung sino man yung tao sa perimeter, pag naka-close out ka naman na maayos, pwede ka na maglaro ng honest defense. For as long as hindi siya open shot talaga na sobrang maiging sila, comfortable sila to take those 3-point shots.
All right, so let's see how it plays out before we end today's episode. Last thing, the team is facing crunch time as we go home for the season. When it comes to crunch time, if I remember, if you want to tell your own time or look for the classic look of Ibarra watches, check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and on their social media pages. Check out them, Ibarra Manila. Also check out the DSA office. A portion of their proceeds goes out to help Lasallian athletes everywhere. So, guys, thank you, Vic, Brian, Willie. So we're in a tough spot now. To make it run to the Final Four in that log jam there.
We have to fight.
We're also not. Yep. We put ourselves in in a situation with tough losses in the first and second round. We're put in a situation where if the hope Ateneo beats UP, which I have not come across to accepting. That's something that may happen this week.
Draw na lang.
Draw. I know. I think we'll just go. We'll go for the third spot and we'll figure it out. We'll just beat them twice. I think we'll just go. We'll take that harder route and hope Ateneo.
Okay na ako dun. Okay na ako dun.
Kung may opportunity na sa laro nila, kung may opportunity na sa Ateneo UP game na pareha silang talo, yan yung best outcome.
Actually, interesting. We'll have a better idea of the scenarios of what needs to happen or of the Final Four picture come Wednesday. So check out our post-game recap of that game. Then we'll see. We have 2 big games after that. So crucial week for LaSalle basketball here. And check out on the quiver. Hopefully it won't be our last week of covering LaSalle basketball for this one. But we'll see. As I always say, guys, you have to keep the faith. Follow us on YouTube and Spotify. Let us know your thoughts about this game in the comments. And we'll see you next time. As I always say, Animo LaSalle.